we didn't lose any of you.
Yeah. That was weird. I had said something about that before.
It wasn't that long of a clip. And we were agreeing with them. And we gave them all the credit. I didn't think that they would us. Smitty, I hope you can hear me. I totally understand enough drama. I get it. It's a very controversial topic.
Well, I don't consider this as drama. I consider this as being healthy debates and having a lot of just differences of opinion. We don't ever want to have people here who always just are sitting here agreeing with everything we say.
Mm-hmm.
We're just here to have differences of opinion, that we can have a healthy debate and people can have a platform and have an opportunity just to have a voice that they can share their stuff, share their opinions. So,
And we wanted a place that you can even be against what we think. If Brian and I agree and you guys don't agree, we want you to feel safe to be able to say, I don't agree with you. And
mhm,
not even have to explain why. Just be like, you know what? I don't agree with you guys. We're
right.
not going to you. We're not going to call you names. We're not going to browbeat you. It's not ever going to come to that. We just want to have a conversation of opposing minds so that opposing minds can understand the opposition
Right.
and a humanity, it just, we don't have to hate. I don't know if anyone heard that, but that was great.
Well, and yeah, it was great. I love that soliloquy you just presented to the audience there. It was really healthy. And to even just tag team on top of what you just said, no one yelled tonight. No one raised their voice. No one called each other, anybody out of their name. There wasn't a whole lot of that going on because at the end of the day, we promote this type of healthy, diverse conversation. Sammy Song, the Christian USA, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by the Christian USA because I'm not sure if you're aware there is so many derivatives of Christianity in the USA. So what form of Christian are you? Are you a
And
Southern Baptist? Are you a Southern Baptist? Are you a Baptist? Are you um, uh, what's the other form of Christianity? I'm just drawing a blank here because there's so many different forms of Christianity. Which one are you? Which ones
the
are we destroying?
Protestant, I don't know, the
Protestant?
thing,
Uh-huh.
the wakers, the bakers, the candlestick makers.
Yeah.
But this country was founded to have government not affiliated with religion because of the disgust that our forefathers, that the people who immigrated to this country had on the
Mm-hmm.
crown and the church, that they
Mm-hmm.
were like, no, 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 we're going to separate that shit. We're not going to have that in this country because that is bullshit in that country. That's what they felt, and that's what they did. And that is why the only time religion is mentioned in our Constitution is to limit religion in government. The only time religion is mentioned at all in the Constitution, again, is to limit religion.
Don't we have the freedom to practice religion?
No, it's to limit the government's
No, no.
involvement.
Well, I'm saying, don't we have the freedoms to
Yes,
practice whatever religion that you want in this country?
that is how the government's not involved, because if we involve the government, then they'd have to pick a side type thing. But since the government's not involved, your freedom of religion, as long as you're not killing people as a part of your religion, or, the things that trample on other people's rights. Now, I know your religious beliefs and your rights are going to oppose this person's religious beliefs and their rights. And
Mm-hmm.
that's always going to cause something. But really, you both just have these beliefs. You can, regardless of your beliefs.
I'm just typing something. I think people are starting to kind of filter back in.
Well, also the most popular religions are Abrahamic religions. I mean, believe in the, Abrahamic God. So really, they kind of have the same belief systems, but very different in other ways, but they coincide in a way. Yet they hate each other so much,
Hmm.
and
Well,
that's something I realized at a young age. The hate, because I
y-
remember someone teaching me, it wasn't even in Catholic school, but that Muslims were evil, and that was before 9/11, before all of that. I remember hearing that and being like, they don't look evil.
hmm
This
well,
child's 5 years old. How could they possibly be evil?
but
It's like,
then at the end of the day, if Christianity was destroyed and you still had Judaism, you had the Episcopal Church, you had all these other forms of religion, why would that be a bad thing?
believers need to believe. So it doesn't matter. Like, say we destroy Christianity, another
Hmm.
head is going to get up on that snake.
Right,
Like
right.
it's going to be replaced because as a society, we're actually, I mean, as much as y'all want to argue, we don't like to be told what to do. We love to be told what to do. Like a big majority of society likes to be told what to do, whether it's um, on a religious way, which is not our country because that's not how we were founded, or government telling us what we have to do, which is what you First Amendment auditors are going to love to hear.
Hmm.
Uh, we don't we don't like to go without direction, and we do enjoy being told what to do. And for some of you, it's in order to fight being told what to do. You still love it though.
Right. It looks like the chat is starting to kind of catch up to what we were talking about. I don't know what's going on.
I'm sure
Um,
I'm being yelled at, Jack.
I don't know. I didn't see that. It was just me saying we're back, and then Sammy Sung is talking, and then the conversation guy says that they think the new Republican Party is exactly like the Taliban, except it's Christianity and not Islam. 100% agree.
You 100% agree with that.
I
The
think
Republican Party is another form of the Taliban. You
no,
100%
no, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna say 100%. I'm gonna just say I could
1090.
I can see that argument. That's all I'm going to say. Not even
I can
percentage.
see
I
the
can
argument,
see that art making that argument. Not
but
to
100%.
not to the degree of the Taliban, but to the degree because no one, as far as I know, has tried to commit any type of mass killings or murders based upon the Republican Party. So I won't put the Taliban on them for that. So I apologize for misspeaking.
Never say 100% ever.
Oh yeah, don't say 100%. No,
And even science isn't 100% on a lot of their things. Like
right.
that's so definitive. Um, and I've been learning to steer away from you always do this or this never happens.
Right.
I've been trying because as a human and definitely as a woman, you tend to say definitive things like you never or this always. I've been getting better at this often instead of always. This often happens. That
Often
was one.
happens, not always, but this happens frequently.
Yeah, because nothing's ever 100%
Nothing.
white or 100% black. I mean, there's
Hmm.
gray area is so vast that the white and the black are gone.
The conversation guy says that Marjorie Trader Green is the leader of the GOP. I am not going to disagree or agree.
Disagree. The
I'm
majority.
leaning more to disagreeing because she doesn't do anything, and all she does is just walk around under Trump's butt everywhere he goes. And so I'm not sure she's capable of being on any committees, having any assignments. Because listen, she got removed from her assignments under Donald Trump's presidency. Her
No,
own
I know.
her own Republican Party has not said, "Hey, can we reintroduce?" I know they don't have the majority right now, but they could actually try to lobby for her being put on some committees now. Not one person has tried to do that. Listen, did you unmute something?
No, I started the YouTube so I can get
Oh,
the
gotcha.
chat going.
Chat's on there. Gotcha.
Yeah, we're good now.
I just don't. Again, if you are down with Donald Trump, do you think that makes you down with extremist and racist and bigoted entities like Proud Boys and like the Oath Keepers? Are you like that? Because listen, you can say what you want about BLM and how they may not have been forthright with their financial bookings and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think that BLM is conceived of or can be made out to be as some type of a racial group, a bigoted group. You could say a lot of things about a lot of other groups that maybe are affiliated on the Democratic Party, but not one that I can think of have come out and just said, hey, that they are 100% pro are racist groups, just racist groups at all.
I'm going to forget my point if I don't say it real quick.
Go ahead, say it.
The whole Marjorie Taylor Greene being in charge of the GOP, you're forgetting a massive amount of Republicans that don't agree with her. But they don't, and they refuse, and they will never be caught voting Democratic. They will always vote on party lines. Yet you have this person representing this party that they despise. And we're disenfranchising those people. They're going to be without a party. And we can't disenfranchise them.
Right.
Because even, I mean, as a liberal, like a progressive, evil bastard, I still want everyone to vote. And I want everyone to vote their hearts, their conscience, what they want deep down, not what party lines say, not what this guy on the podium says, what they think is right for their country, regardless of how they feel, regardless if they hate my thoughts, if they hate how I feel and they think I should burn in hell for eternity, they should vote. I want them to vote. And the fact that Republicans are now being categorized as this gnarly extremist, and I say about the same about the left. All right, we'll get there soon. But I mean, all four of my parents are Republicans. They're lost now because they're not Democrats. They're never going to be Democrats, but they're not Republicans either because they don't agree with the way the party's going. So what are we going to do with all of these rationally thinking, good, honest, hardworking Americans that we're just going to throw them aside because they're not going to go with the extremist values?
Right.
And they're not going to turn to the Democrats because they'd rather burn in hell. What are we going to do with them?
Well, that's what you've got a lot of people who have actually come out and said that. They go, you know what? I hope Donald Trump doesn't win the nomination, but if he wins the nomination, I'm going to have to vote for him.
The entire Republican Party in 2015 said that. All of the congressmen and senators were just like, that guy's bad.
So what do you say about what do you say about
that guy's good?
What do you say about the conversation guy saying that he knows that some Trump cultists won't vote for even MGT because she's a female, because he saw that in a video that interviewed Trump supporters. I've actually saw a female supporter that said they won't vote for a female because they don't think a presidential job is a female's job.
You saw that on Jordan Klepper, didn't you?
I think I did. Yes.
You did. She said, when I think of president, I think of a man. Because you never know when that woman's going to get emotional or it's that time of the
right.
And then Jordan Klepper's like, but didn't all wars start with men? And she's like, well, yeah, they did. Oh, so you're just, Jordan Klepper is amazing.
He's so clever when he does the things.
So many of these things that are just like, that he doesn't have time to write or practice or anything for it. He's just able to quip right then and there, and he makes them think, which they don't like. And so he's not popular at the rallies, but he makes them think. And I was watching the behind the scenes with Klepper and his producer talking about all the Trump rallies that they went to, and even being there at January 6th. And their insights on it, and I'm just like, man, these guys are fucking brilliant.
Right.
I mean, I couldn't do that on the spot.
You know, the funny thing about people that he interviews, and this is why I think he's so clever, You get a group of Trumpists in a room, they all lean on each other for whatever, talking points that they want to come up with. But you take them and put them on isolated islands and talk to them individually, they are befuddled. They can't think on their own. They have nothing to say.
Shut down the interview. I'm done talking to you because you have confused me and I have no response.
They use big words.
I'm gonna go to personal attacks and make fun of you for being fake news.
Right, exactly right. That's what they do. That's exactly right.
And I have no response.
So Rick Shelley says, "Who else but Trump has sacrificed so much to make America the greatest country in the entire nation under Jesus in one marriage?" Hallelujah. I'm hoping he's being very facetious when he says that, tongue in cheek, sarcastic, or whatever you want to say.
He did sacrifice a lot. He had no idea how little he would get paid. He didn't think he'd be president. He thought it would be a good promo for him. He thought like, oh, people are going to buy my shit because I'm running for president again. Because it worked the first time. He became relevant again. But this time he won. And he was just like, did you see the image of him on election night when he won? Does anyone remember that?
I don't remember. No.
Oh, he was despondent, I think is the word I want to use. He had the whole legs open, hands between the two, and just the dumb look on his face like, oh, fuck.
What did I just do?
Melania was crying. Like, they were not aiming to win. He just wanted to be relevant again.
I think Rick Shelley is funny because I think he's being. He says we must outdo Jesus and turn not one cheek, but two, but two cheeks. They say butt cheeks to our precious Lord Trump. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Megan, I got to step away. Hold it down for me. I got to step away for a quick second. Be right back.
Get back. I got to step away. My turn to pee.
Okay.
But I got a lot to say when it comes to that presidency, because when the campaign was going on, I actually did some digging to see, because I used to live in Mexico where he had a failed property right next to my home, and that's how Trump's name even came up in my life at the time. And I was just like, there's this, like, I mean, it's pretty ugly on the coastline, this failed property that he tried. And so I looked into it, and he has a lot of money from the Russians from the 80s, like a lot. And he went bankrupt so many times. So people saying that he's a good businessman, he knows how to deal with money. Are you kidding? I mean, I'm better with money than him. I have not made nearly as much or have ever had the opportunity to make as much, but I have put away aggressively into my 401k since my early 20s. And I don't make stupid decisions when it comes to finances. And I also don't have a daddy to bail me out. Rick Shelley, luckily, I ain't worried about going to hell. Philippians chapter 45, verse 666. I like this Rick Shelley guy or girl. Like him. I do. Very clever and good with the retorts and comebacks. I do like it. Rick, you are welcome anytime.
I'm back.
Okay.
So the conversation guys dad got screwed at Trump University scam. Wow.
Wait. Trump University is not an accredited school. Why
Well,
would anyone?
it
why
was.
would anyone into that? It was.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it ever was, or it got shut down right away. It got shut down like before a year, and those people got screwed, just like Marinello's in Southern California, which was an accredited school.
So it's DeVry University. I attended that.
Yeah, I'm really glad I went to beauty school at a different school, because the chain beauty school They
Hmm.
got shut down, and those people, they didn't get any credits towards the hours that they already dedicated. And I found that out in like my last 1,400 hours, so like my last month of school. And I was like, I couldn't imagine having to start it.
Oh yeah, I can imagine doing that either.
Love.
And I want to make it clear, guys. I'm not really didn't want to come on here to use this as a Trump bashing session
It
because that's
wasn't.
not we. But there is some current events that just happened and transpired today that I really wanted to talk about and find out if you are a Trump follower, if you still believe in Trump after today's riveting, revelations today. You don't get a former president's home raided by the FBI. So I think it's a turn for good, bad, or indifferent. I don't know for our country, but it's happened. And I'm just baffled at some of the people who think that this is a political stunt or that there's nothing. And here's the deal. When this all comes out and there is a crime that he's being charged with, people are always going to say that it smells of some kind of political hack job. This is the left always having it out for Trump, and they're going to make up something. You're always going to have those people who say this, even if the evidence is right before your eyes, guys. And again, I've already told you guys, I'm one of the guys who believes in facts. I work in facts. I work in areas where either it works or it doesn't. There is no try. There is do or do not. That's a Yoda quote, in case there are any Star Wars fans out there. But you can't just make up things because it fits a narrative. I even hate that word narrative. Fitting a narrative should never come into our vocabulary. It either makes sense and it's factual, or it doesn't make sense and it's non-factual. That's how my brain works. Period.
There, we would have made another word to mean it because, I mean, how else do you want to explain this phenomenon of narrative?
I wish I would try not to explain it because I wish I didn't even have to explain the phenomenon of a narrative. I think there are talking points, and you can have good talking points when you have a discussion because you want to hit on those talking points to make your argument. But at the end of the day, when you're repeating someone else's talking points, that's what makes it a narrative. And people keep talking and talking about it and using it and creating a narrative based upon someone else's talking points. Come up with your own talking points. Come up with your own facts. Come up with your own ideas and things. That's what's missing in today's society. Everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon with somebody else's thoughts without coming up with their own.
Oh, your line of reasoning, I can also expect to be able to fuel my vehicle off of rainbows. Because what you're saying is a fantasy.
True story.
People are not going to agree. And egos are going to get in the way of being able to agree to disagree or to admit when you're wrong. We're human beings.
But that's the fault. And here's the deal: we're human beings. No one's perfect, but you've got a guy who wants to claim that he is in Donald Trump. He wants to act as if he doesn't make mistakes, he doesn't apologize, and everything he does, there's a reason or excuse. You know what we used to call those people when I was growing up? People who always have an excuse for everything that they do. Anybody want to know what they call those guys? A hustler. They call those guys a hustler.
Okay, but even if Trump was the only person who said that, that's not what happened. He has a fan base. 30% of the country. Okay, maybe it's not 30% anymore, but a big chunk.
A big chunk. Right.
Get out of their echo chambers. Who do not want to listen to even a little bit of something against. Maybe this isn't working out, or no, I don't believe that evidence of Ivanka saying that my dad was wrong. CGI. And CGI is a bitch to get over. People still believe in flat Earth, Brian.
True story. True. And when you say stuff like that, it just kind of brings me back down because I have so much high hope for humanity, and I give people more credit than they probably deserve.
You're not wrong to do that.
But I try my best to believe in people, but at the end of the day, I'm also one of those guys that says stupid people don't realize that they're stupid. They just don't. And they will try to argue them with you to the death that they're not stupid when everything they say is stupid.
You know who was King Dunning-Kruger? It's Trump.
Yes.
Dunning-Kruger, I want to say verbatim by definition, but I don't have it up on my screen. But it's basically somebody who thinks they know everything about a subject.
About everything.
Know nothing about it based in reality. What they know about it is not true, or just something they don't believe the facts. But they think that they know everything about this subject. And Trump was top left all the way.
All the way. A snake oil salesman says truth teller. Absolutely.
But Mary's book, didn't you?
You say what?
Did you read Mary's book?
Mary who?
Mary Trump.
No, I did not read her book.
I have it on audiobook. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, definitely send it to me.
Very good insight to why Donald Trump is Donald Trump.
That would be kind of fascinating to listen to.
Oh my, it's going to blow your mind. It would blow any of your minds. I just don't think a lot of you would ever even consider listening to it, let alone believing it.
You know, even the mind that most people think on other channels, that is my small mind that I'm not intelligent enough to probably comprehend.
He's opening up, think out loud and take another opinion.
I was trying to do another little dig to someone, but I don't like mentioning people's names. But I also dig. I love kind of digging, subtle dig.
What was it?
Huh?
What was the subtle dig?
I said to those people who think that I have a small mind, do you think my mind would actually be able to comprehend that audiobook from Mary Trump? Hey, Bob. I was trying to do another real good with someone that I didn't like making people's names, but I have some drinking machine.
I used to be a drinking machine. Now I don't have any.
Those people who think that I have a Mary Tripp overheard the Russian collusion with Trump don't understand the typing. I gotta have to have like this analytical brain where I can dissect what people's intent and what they are saying over what they actually typed. I just don't have that brain.
You know what you can almost always count on? 90% of the people that are going to type something like that never looked into it themselves.
A true story. Because
No
now,
idea.
now he's saying Mary Trump overheard President Trump and Putin talking about you have to wait until my next election. I'll be a lot more flexible then. Oh, wait, that was Obama? What the hell?
It was even a part of her book. It was 2 or 3 lines out of how many lines on a page on the book?
A lot.
So it's 70, 60
Okay.
lines. And how many pages on a book? Like, her book is about her experience with the family, not even including Trump yet, just the family and what her grandfather was like, and and then she talks about her uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not focused on Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. It's not like that. It's just like, this is how my father grew up as the eldest son, the favorite, and how he fell from grace and Donald took over.
So Bob is saying something about an open mic, but what was the context? It couldn't have been anything nefarious because I haven't really heard much about it. So what was the full context of that conversation? Are you saying that there was some type of illegalities that happened during that conversation? Because just bringing it up out of nowhere doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. So if you could put some context behind that and what it refers to, I'd be more than happy to engage in more of an educated conversation with you on it.
Bob. I don't even see a Bob in the post.
He said he didn't hear too much about asking a favor from Obama, and Obama was saying, "Listen, you have to wait until whatever." Are you again? I don't understand. I mean, there's factual evidence that Trump was asking for a favor with Ukraine. Are you trying to compare that? Find the link in the video. Tell me where to go. I'll go in there and because there was no concern about a quid pro quo or anything like that with Obama. As far as I knew, there was no impeachment. There was no impeachments hearings under Obama.
And we haven't spoken of impeachment. We haven't even talked about the impeachment trials, multiple. We haven't talked about Ukraine and the perfect phone call. We haven't talked about the phone call to Georgia. Or there are, well, I mean, I don't know. I did step out for a minute. You might have brought these up, but like there are so many things that y'all call, well, not y'all. I'm not talking about y'all. The diehard Trump can never do wrong folks are just like, what about this? What about that? And we all know how much I love the what about it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to focus on the issue at hand, not point the finger elsewhere and be like, what about that?
The hypotheticals, right?
It doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything.
Plus, usually when you're pointing out what about that, you'd be like, yeah, that was shitty too, but what about this?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't brought up a lot of the controversial stuff that we really could have brought up, but we haven't because there is already so much stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to bring up that crap.
And also we haven't brought up a whole lot too because this is not even our normal stream night. This is just an after party night, or I wanted to do a sports tonight, but I saw this and I was just like, this is crazy. Bob is, yeah, breaking news. So Bob is now saying Ukraine government right now where jailed 1,200 of its government officials. Ukraine right now has just jailed and accused of treason. The top prosecutor and the head of security, Ukraine is, and has been the most corrupt government in the world. What are you talking about? The Ukraine is the most corrupt government in the world? Sit down somewhere, dude. There's Russia. There's China. There's a lot of atrocities. Let's talk about Saudi Arabia. The atrocities toward their citizens are far outweighs whatever you think is going on in Ukraine because that's some kind of political talking point that you get from Fox News, Bob. That makes zero sense.
Because it's current events. But hey, Bob.
But hold on.
Just come up here on panel and talk to us and tell us what you mean.
Right.
Because you only get so much in the chat. I mean, I know, believe me, I was trying to chat, even did voice to text, and half of what I said sounded way more drunk than the 2 shots that I had.
Well, and then
frustrating it could be to convey your feelings and your thoughts over text. Please come on panel and tell us what do you mean. We are very open-minded here.
And so if the Ukraine is such a horrible place, why did Trump say, hey, until you investigate Biden or Hunter Biden, I'm not going to send you these missiles or weapons that you need to protect your citizens and your country from a Russia invasion? Why did he come and sit down and shake hands with the newly elected president if Ukraine is so bad? Why did Trump befriend them and do all that and then made fun of Obama because he said Obama, all they did was send blankets, but he sent missiles and weapons. So why now are you saying that the Ukraine is so bad? I don't understand that talking point.
Because Ukraine was good when Trump thought he could get something out of them, but then Ukraine bad because
they didn't follow right, didn't get what he wanted, didn't get that Hunter Biden investigation.
The Trump followers are like, oh yes, Ukraine bad,
right?
Even though they're not following the conversation, they're just like, Trump said Ukraine good, Ukraine good, Ukraine good. Trump said Ukraine bad, Ukraine bad. Fuck Ukraine. Yeah, no, it's bullshit. Think for yourself. Research.
They keep saying it as a talking point because they are so programmed to continue those talking points that they don't investigate and think for themselves, like you said.
Plenty of people in their echo chamber agree with them. And if they even if they disagree, they can't say that they disagree because now they're going to be ousted from the community, their own families. It's going to cause a rift, and that sucks.
Okay, so listen. I really want to continue talking, but there's going to
Fine.
be a lot more revelations by the time we wake up tomorrow and have our regular stream tomorrow night. If you are new, there's some new faces that we've talked about. Bob, if you want to subscribe, our normal station, our normal time, and we have plenty more time to discuss things, is on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. We'd love to hear from you guys. If you would like to be on video or on the panel, you don't have to have a video. But if you want to just come in here and voice your opinions and your perspective, let us know. We'll and send you a Discord and you can our Discord link, and you can join us on Discord. So we'll be more than happy to entertain further discussions. Hopefully, you guys will be able to join us tomorrow night because again, this was just a breaking news night. We wanted to talk about it because it was hot and fresh. We got some viewers. We got a lot of followers tonight because of that subject. And we want to see you guys tomorrow night as well. Megan, any parting comments before we head off until tomorrow?
I know I jumped on. I said a lot of things in the comments that I said I would articulate better when I got on camera, but we've had so much to say since I've
Oh,
been on
yeah.
camera to be able to address any of those things. But
Hmm.
just try to understand my sense of humor and sarcasm, and just think everything I said was perfect.
I'm going to put the link that Bob has in the chat. Uh, I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to copy it if I can. And then I'm going to go back and listen to it. And then we'll talk about it. Bob, join us tomorrow, 8 o'clock.
You know what? I
Hmm.
kind of want to continue this.
I do.
I'm going to open up a stream,
Oh, okay.
controversial channel.
Okay.
If anyone's okay with that, I'm going to drop it real quick in the link.
Okay.
I'm going to drop the link in the chat.
Is he live right now?
Let
Oh.
me start my own.
Oh, you can start your own chat? Why come you don't do it in Discord then? Oh, you don't have... Yeah, do it in Discord.
I don't like Discord. I
Oh.
don't know how to operate Discord. Discord doesn't like me.
Oh, my
Discord
gosh.
doesn't like me.
Okay.
That's what it comes down to.
Gotcha.
All right. I've got the link. Where are you all? There we go. So, I don't know. I'm enjoying this conversation.
And we'll probably...
There's the link.
You can follow Megan over there tonight, and hopefully we'll see you back here tomorrow night. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack. We did kind of talk about a whole lot, but we missed a whole lot of things as well. And so we're going to finish this, whatever Megan's going to have on her stream tonight, and whatever we missed tonight, we're going to talk about tomorrow. So please like, subscribe, Drinks and Discussions on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch if you are interested. We'd love to have you and see you tomorrow night.
And just so you know, right now, that link is not being broadcast. So it can be a private thing. We can discuss once we get there if we want to even put it on YouTube. It's a conversation. It's going to be offline for now until y'all tell me to go ahead and broadcast, and let's talk to everyone. Okay?
All right.
See you there. I hope to see you there, Brian.
Good night. I will probably join you for a little bit, and then I'm going to say goodnight to everybody, and I'll say goodnight to you as well, Megan, and I will see you in a little bit, and then also see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.